My husband always told me we were struggling financially. I cut coupons, took extra work, even sold my jewelry. Then one day, I opened a letter, a bill for a lavish hotel stay. My heart pounded as I called the hotel. Oh yes, Mr. Daniels and his wife stayed here last weekend. But I wasn't with him. That night, I handed him a gift box. A present for you. He opened it, smiling, then his face dropped. Inside was the hotel bill. And a copy of our joint bank account statement showing he'd spent it all on someone else. His hands trembled as I whispered, "Check your balance now." When he did, he nearly fainted. I, 42 female, don't even know how to start this without shaking. But I've been sitting with this for weeks, and I feel like if I don't let it out, I might lose my mind. So here goes. This happened in Chicago, where we live. My husband, 45 male, Mark, and I have been married for 18 years. We have 2 kids, teenagers, both in high school. We've had our ups and downs like every marriage, but I thought we were solid. I truly did. I believed we were the kind of couple that could weather anything. For the past few years, Mark had been really serious about our finances. He kept saying we were tight on money. At first, I didn't question it. He handled most of the budgeting. I trusted him. He would come home from work tired, sit down with the bills, sigh heavily, and say things like, "We're drowning," or "We need to cut back." He even made comments about my grocery choices, not in a mean way, just little things like, "Did we really need name-brand cereal this week?" or "Let's skip takeout for a while." It felt real. He seemed stressed. I figured he was just trying to keep us afloat. So I did what I thought any supportive wife would do. I started cutting coupons, shopping clearance racks, and I even picked up freelance jobs in the evenings after my day job. It was exhausting, but I thought we were in this together. I also sold some of my old jewelry. Nothing too fancy, just pieces from my mom and grandmother. It hurt, but I thought, we'll recover. We'll buy better things someday. He praised me. Said I was amazing. Said he didn't know what he'd do without me. He even told our kids things like, "Your mom's holding us together." I wore that like a badge of honor. Looking back, I want to scream at myself. The cracks started showing maybe 6 months ago. He started taking more work trips. He said he had to travel to Milwaukee, Springfield, even Indianapolis a few times. Always for conferences or meetings. He said it wasn't worth getting a hotel with points, so he just paid out of pocket and would be reimbursed. I asked for details sometimes, like, "What hotel are you staying at?" or "Who are you meeting with?" He'd always be vague. "Just some clients. Nothing interesting. You wouldn't know them." I didn't push. I didn't want to seem controlling. He came back from these trips looking different. Happier. Relaxed. Like he had a glow. Meanwhile, I was bone tired. I was handling the kids, the house, work, freelance jobs, everything. I chalked his mood up to just having space. I even felt guilty for feeling jealous. Now here's where everything started to unravel. Last month, I was sorting the mail while sipping coffee before work. Just the usual bills, flyers, garbage. Then I saw it, a cream-colored envelope. Thick paper. High-end. It was addressed to Mark. I almost tossed it into his pile, but the return address caught my eye, the Peninsula, Chicago. One of the fanciest hotels in the city. My heart dropped. I stood there, frozen, staring at it. My fingers trembled as I opened it. Inside was a detailed bill. A 2-night stay. Spa treatments. Champagne service. In-room dining. Twice. Massage for 2. Total, $2,864. The dates? The exact weekend he said he was in Milwaukee for a client dinner and team building weekend. I felt dizzy. I checked the calendar. Yep. That weekend, I had been home with the kids. We ordered pizza one night. I remember because I told him I had to dip into the grocery money to cover it. I thought, maybe it's a mistake. Maybe it was a work thing. Maybe his company paid for it, and the bill just came here by accident. So I did something I've never done before, I called the hotel. "Hi, the Peninsula, how may I assist you?" "Hi," I said, voice shaking. "I'm calling about a bill sent to Mark Daniels." "He stayed last weekend?" "Yes, ma'am. Mr. Daniels and his wife had a lovely stay." "Is there a problem?" I don't remember hanging up. I just remember my chest going tight and cold. My ears ringing. I sat there on the kitchen floor for what felt like hours. That night, I didn't say anything. I couldn't. My hands were shaking too hard. I just watched him eat dinner, smile at the kids, talk about work. I watched him laugh like he hadn't just shattered everything we built. All during times he claimed we were broke. All while I was selling heirlooms and taking extra jobs just to pay for groceries. That's when I made a plan. I printed everything. The hotel bill. Screenshots of our bank account. I highlighted the transactions. I opened a separate checking account in my name only. I moved half the funds there, not to hide anything, just to protect myself. Then I bought a little gift box. Just a plain one from Target. That Friday, after dinner, after the kids went to bed, I handed it to him. "What's this?" he smiled. "A present," I said. He opened it, expecting a watch or something sentimental. What he saw was a printout of the hotel bill, and the bank statement underneath it. His whole face changed. I'll never forget it. His smile disappeared. His eyes darted between the papers. His hands started shaking. What is this?" he stammered. "You tell me," I said. He tried to lie at first. Said it was a work thing. Said I was overreacting. Said I misunderstood. Then I told him I called the hotel. I said, "They told me your wife stayed with you." He sat there in silence. Then finally, a whisper, "It was just a weekend." It didn't mean anything. I asked who she was. He said, "Vanessa. Someone from work." He looked pathetic. Pale. Defeated. Then I told him, "Check your balance." He looked confused. Pulled out his phone. Logged into our account. And I watched him turn ghost white as he realized half the money was gone. "Where is it?" he gasped. "In a new account," I said. "In my name. Protected. You don't get to spend another dollar on her." He tried to argue. Said I was overreacting. That I was being dramatic. That I ruined our family. I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I just sat there and watched him squirm. He's been sleeping on the couch ever since. I haven't told the kids yet. I haven't decided what I'll do next. But for now, I'm watching. Waiting. And making sure he knows I'm not the fool he thought I was. A few days after the gift box night, the tension in the house was unbearable. Mark slept on the couch, and every morning we'd do this strange, silent routine, brushing teeth next to each other without eye contact, pretending things were normal when the kids were around. But it wasn't normal. I barely ate. I couldn't sleep. My chest was tight all the time. I kept thinking, was it just Vanessa? Or had there been others? I felt like I was going to vomit. I couldn't sleep again that night. I kept staring at his sleeping figure on the couch. I wanted to scream. Shake him. Throw everything at him. But I needed to be smart. The next day, while he was at work, I called his office pretending to be someone else. "Hi, this is Rachel from HR. I'm trying to confirm a lunch meeting with Raina. Is she in the office today?" The receptionist replied casually, "Raina doesn't work here anymore. She left last spring." I paused. "Oh, do you know where she went?" She hesitated. "She was let go, under some personal circumstances." That was all I needed. The confrontation. I showed up at his office 2 days later. I didn't warn him. I wore my best blazer, clean makeup, no tears. I looked composed. Not because I felt strong, but because I wanted to be cold. I needed control. The receptionist looked startled when I arrived. I asked for Mark. She said he was in a meeting. I said I'd wait. When he walked out and saw me, his face turned to stone. "Can we talk?" I asked. "In private." He led me into a small conference room. Closed the door. "What are you doing here?" he asked, clearly flustered. I dropped a small stack of printouts on the table. Call logs. Dates. Raina's name. I said nothing. He sat down, slowly. His hand went to his forehead. He looked like he was going to pass out. "I didn't think you'd find out about her," he said quietly. My heart cracked again. "So how many were there?" I asked. He looked at me with red, tired eyes. 2. Vanessa and Raina. He paused. Raina was emotional. It got messy. I ended it months ago. After she got fired? He flinched. She got fired because of me? I asked. He didn't respond. I laughed. Actually laughed. But it wasn't happy. It sounded sharp. Bitter. She lost her job and you just moved on to the next one? He whispered, it wasn't like that. Oh, it was exactly like that. He tried to stand. We shouldn't do this here. I stood too. Leaned in close. Oh, we are doing this here, I said. And you'll sit down and listen. He sat. He didn't speak. I walked to the door. Then turned back. One more thing, I said. I took out my phone. Hit play. The hotel call recording. I had recorded the call. The one where the hotel confirmed he stayed with his wife. His face turned gray. You recorded it? He asked, voice hollow. Yes. And now it's backed up. Safe. And if you try to lie to anyone about what happened, I swear to God I'll send it to every single person you work with. He stared at me, defeated. You don't get to lie your way out of this, I said. Not anymore. Then I walked out. The twist: 2 days later, I got an email. From Raina. Subject, you deserve to know everything. It was long. Way too long to post here in full, but the summary? She didn't know about me. Not at first. He told her we were separated. He told her I was bitter and dragging my feet with the divorce. He said we were only living together for the kids. She believed him. They were together for almost a year. Then she found out the truth, accidentally saw a family photo on a coworker's desk. When she confronted him, he turned cold. She was let go shortly after. And get this? He told her I was crazy, that I was dangerous, and that if she contacted me, it would ruin everything. She apologized in her email. She said she was sorry. She didn't want to cause drama, but after hearing he'd been with another woman since her, she broke. She attached screenshots. Photos. Messages. Even a screenshot of him saying, "You're so much better than my wife. She doesn't even try anymore." I sat there and cried. Not because of what he said, but because for the first time I realized he was never who I thought he was. After Raina's email, I spiraled. I wasn't sleeping. My eyes were dry from crying. My hand shook every time my phone buzzed. But here's the thing about betrayal, once it starts to unravel, it never stops at just one thread. I knew there was more. Inside were dozens of photos. Screenshots. Videos. Not taxes. There were pictures of Vanessa, barely dressed, posing in hotel rooms. I recognized the hotel wallpaper. There were some of Raina, too, selfies, screenshots of flirty texts, and one very private video of her crying, saying she missed him. I wanted to scream. But what broke me? There were other women. A woman named Haley. Another labeled Cafe Girl. One just called Red Dress. No names. Just folders. At least 3 more, possibly more than that. He labeled them like collectibles. My stomach turned. I slammed the laptop shut. I ran to the bathroom and threw up. The betrayal ran deeper than I knew. I wasn't mad anymore. I was numb. He didn't just cheat. He made a hobby out of it. A pattern. And all the while, he watched me clip coupons, eat leftovers, and pretend we were partners. The next morning, he tried to act normal. He asked if I wanted coffee. I handed him a flash drive. What's this? He asked. Backup_tax_receipts_2019, I said flatly. I met Raina for coffee. I needed to see her. Not to fight. To understand. She was younger than I expected. Maybe late 20s. Pretty, but not flashy. She looked just as tired as I felt. We sat in a quiet cafe. I ordered chamomile tea because my stomach was still in knots. I'm not here to blame you, I told her. I just need to know what he told you. She looked down at her cup. He said he and his wife were legally separated. That she was angry, controlling, cold. My throat tightened. Did he ever talk about the kids? She nodded. He said they stayed in the house because of them. But he said it wasn't a marriage. That it was over. I felt dizzy again. She looked up. He cried once. Said he wished he could leave, but he didn't want to be alone. I blinked. He said he didn't want to be alone? I asked. She nodded slowly. He told me he'd tried to leave you, but you threatened to ruin him. I laughed bitterly. He told me you were unstable, she said. We sat there in silence. 2 women, both lied to. Both used. Then Raina leaned forward. There's something else. My chest tightened. I got a weird message 2 months ago, she said. It was anonymous. Just a link. No name. She pulled out her phone and showed me a screenshot. It was a Dropbox link, no message. She never opened it. We clicked it right there. Inside were more photos. Of me. Me at the grocery store. Me outside my work. Me picking up the kids from school. All taken from far away. Like surveillance. And then, a video. It was my bedroom window. The lights were off, but you could hear a voice whispering, "She thinks I'm in Milwaukee." My hand flew to my mouth. It was Mark's voice. He'd recorded me. Watched me. Sent videos to Raina to prove how sad and boring I was. I was shaking. He sent you these? She stared at the screen. I didn't open it until now. I didn't know, but I did contact a lawyer. And I took the flash drive, the Dropbox screenshots, and the hotel receipts with me. The lawyer's face didn't change much, but she said 4 words that stuck in my brain all night: "This is serious misconduct." After I found the Dropbox link and saw what Mark had done, filming me, sending my private life to his affair partner like I was some villain in his sad little story, something in me finally broke. Not with pain. Not with fear. With rage. I wasn't going to keep this quiet anymore. For weeks, I protected the image of our family. I made excuses. I held in the storm. But he hadn't just lied, he'd humiliated me. Turned my life into entertainment for other women. I was done being silent. The birthday party that turned into a war zone a week later, we had our younger son's 15th birthday. Family and a few friends were coming over. I thought about canceling, but I didn't want my son punished for his father's sins. Mark offered to grill. He always loved playing the great dad role. Everyone was in the backyard, eating burgers, drinking beers, laughing. My sister pulled me aside and whispered, "You sure you're okay with this?" "No," I said. But I needed to happen like this. Because what no one knew was that Raina was coming. Yes, I invited her. And she said yes. About halfway through the party, Raina walked in, quiet but determined. She wore a black coat and jeans, holding an envelope. Mark froze the second he saw her. His hand, holding a spatula, just dropped to his side. People noticed. Conversations quieted. Heads turned. He walked toward her, hissing under his breath, "What the hell are you doing here?" "I was invited," she said, loud enough for others to hear. He looked at me, eyes wide. I didn't say a word. Just watched. She handed him the envelope. "What is this?" he asked, panic creeping into his voice. "Proof," she said. "Proof of everything you told me. Proof of what you are." He opened it. Photos. Screenshots. Texts. And a printed note from me at the end, "You're not going to lie your way out of this." His mother, yes, his own mother, came over. "Mark? What's going on?" Raina looked right at her. "Ask your son how many wives he's had this year." I was one. Not legally. But close enough. Gasps. Real gasps. His sister looked confused. His brother-in-law raised his eyebrows. The kids came outside, asking what was happening. I waved them back in. But it was too late. My oldest had already heard. "Dad," he asked. "What's she talking about?" Mark tried to say it was nothing. A misunderstanding. Then Raina said, "Did your dad tell you he sent secret videos of your mom to other women?" The backyard exploded. My sister yelled at Mark. His mother sat down, looking pale. People started whispering. Mark started shouting, not apologizing, not explaining, shouting. "You're ruining everything," he screamed at me. "You set me up." I stepped forward. "You ruined it," I said, calm but loud. "When you started filming me from the street. When you took our money and spent it on women. When you built a whole fantasy world behind my back." I turned to the group. "For anyone who wants to know, he cheated. 4 years. With multiple women. Lied about our money. Made me believe we were broke. I worked extra jobs while he was buying champagne in hotel rooms. His sister's husband stepped between us. Maybe you should leave, Mark." Mark tried to argue. Then something I didn't expect happened. Our son, our quiet, introverted son, yelled, "Just stop lying, Dad." Everyone froze. Tears were rolling down his face. He looked broken. "You lied to Mom. You lied to us. You're not who I thought you were." Mark tried to go to him, but our son backed away. That's when Mark finally went quiet. He left the party 10 minutes later. No goodbye. Just silence. Raina apologized again. To everyone. Then left quietly. My sister hugged me. My brother-in-law stayed behind to help clean up. Mark's mom? She stayed. And she cried. She told me, I knew something was off. I didn't know this. I'm so sorry. I didn't have it in me to comfort her. Not yet. That night, I sat in bed alone. Kids were in their rooms. The house was too quiet. I stared at my hands, remembering how they used to tremble trying to make ends meet. Trying to carry a marriage that never existed. I didn't cry. I didn't scream. I just sat in that silence and felt it all. The days after Mark sent texts. Apologies. Excuses. He asked to talk. To explain. He even said, "You've made your point. Can we be civil now?" I didn't answer. My lawyer filed the papers 2 days later. The kids know enough. Not everything, but enough to understand why I'm done. His family doesn't blame me. They visit the kids. They keep their distance from him. Reflection and final thoughts. I think about all the nights I stayed up working, worrying, waiting for him to come home from conferences. I think about how I blamed myself, my looks, my energy, my job, my stress, for him being distant. And now I know, it was never me. He didn't cheat because I failed. He cheated because he was small. Weak. Addicted to attention. He betrayed not just me, but our children. Our home. Our life. And somehow, I'm the one rebuilding from the ashes while he plays the victim. I don't know what the future looks like yet. But I know this, I will never beg for love again. I will never give everything and ask for nothing. And I will never, ever ignore my gut. I don't know what comes next. But I'm not afraid anymore.